I am Kyren, Lacey's mother, and I will not accept any belated apologies. My beloved son left me 5 months ago, and you can't imagine, at the very end of his life, he still thought everyone hated him. It was an accident that had absolutely nothing to do with him, yet it not only brought him worldwide ridicule, but also destroyed his career and ultimately took his life, all because one man lied to him. Everyone blamed him without knowing that Kyren's car was farther from the crash site than his longest catch distance in college. How could he possibly have caused that accident? If not for that accident, he would still be alive today, playing in the league. The truth has finally come out. But so what? My child will never come back. He left this world full of pain, while those who so easily accused him now want to erase it all with a single word. Do you know? In his final days, he kept asking me, "Mom, why doesn't anyone believe me?" That kind of despair still echoes in my dreams to this day. At Kyren's funeral, holding myself together with what little strength I had left, I sang one last song for him, "I Will Always Love You," hoping my dear son could finally rest in peace.
This officer needs to be arrested immediately.
Make sure you add in there that you had to slam on your brakes and the brakes to avoid that charger, and the brakes locked up to avoid that charger. That's
Footage of this officer trying to convince a witness to accuse Kyren Lacey of being behind a fatal accident has leaked.
That lady in the back of me, she didn't know what happened. That's how she called that record. She was running in the back of me. She pulled on the other side.
So, but the charger was coming right at you, correct? That's why you had to slam your brake head on with you. So yeah, just make sure you include that in. That's very important because we're trying to locate this charger right now.
In the body cam footage, you can hear the witness say that a gold truck behind him caused the accident, not Kyren Lacey in his green Dodge Charger. This was all in an attempt to get this witness to produce a false witness statement, which they actually refused, if you can see here. Statement written by Tyler Werner says, Highway 20 green Charger coming head on, passing multiple cars. Coming head on, I had to slam on the brakes to avoid accident. Then I had to veer off road to avoid getting hit. Then I stopped to check on the cars behind me. In the wreck, I was traveling north, the Charger was traveling south in the wrong lane. As you guys can see, the witness refused to sign this. This coming after an investigative report determined that Kyren Lacey was about 72.6 yards behind the vehicle at the time of impact.
72.6 yards behind the vehicles at the time of impact. Keyword, behind the vehicles.
They're not negating the fact that he was swerving lanes. They are negating the fact that he was the person that caused that fatal accident, killing that 78-year-old man. And behind this is Louisiana officer Tyler Werner, and if you ask me, he needs to be thrown in the nearest cell. The sad part regarding this is Kyren's lawyer claims that he told him he only needed one more day to prove his innocence before Kyren took his own life, unfortunately. I honestly hope his family is gearing to lawyer up. I know they are hurting. There's a lot going on in this case, and something in the milk ain't clean. I'm curious to know what you guys think regarding this. Let me know down in the comments. Peace.
We are now finding out that Lacey never caused that car crash and he was framed by the police. He passed away for no reason. You see, come to find out, Lacey was nowhere near the accident when it happened. You can see his car literally be the last vehicle at the scene, and it just goes around him. When a witness told the officer that the person who caused the accident was the woman, the officer led the witness and told him, "No, I need you to say that that Charger is the one who caused the accident." Because of this situation, Lacey's draft stock dropped. People were attacking his family and him on social media, saying that he took the life of a veteran. And due to an altercation that he got the night before court, he thought he was going to jail for life and just decided to go to the Lord. The officers and investigators that framed him for this incident and forgot that body cams exist, they need to be charged. They need to be in jail as well. Give them the same amount of time Lacey would have got. Rest in peace to him.
What's so sad about this situation is that he'd probably still be here if the police actually did their job and did a thorough investigation. But instead, they saw a young black man who was headed to the NFL and decided that they were planning to make an example out of him. They were feeding us non-stop images of him and his mugshot, just like this one. Or they would show us pictures like this of the person who lost their life in the accident that wasn't his fault. And the last thing we saw before he took his own life was headlines like this, telling us that he was on a high-speed chase. Mind you, he was only on a high-speed chase from the police because he got into an argument with a family member and he happened to have a firearm and let it off into the ground, not hurting anyone. Not saying it's okay that he did that, but no one was injured. And he was afraid because he was only 2 days away from his trial where he was being accused of unaliving somebody. Even more interesting is that the video footage that the lawyer has released shows that he wasn't even close enough to the accident and in fact went around the accident after it already happened. Mind you, the police were calling it a hit and run. A hit and run, but he didn't hit anybody. And he didn't run, he just kept going and went around the accident. But again, a young black man headed to the NFL, and here we are. I'm praying for him and his family because I'm sure that this is really hard for them to deal with at this time, and they were done so wrong.
I'm Kyren Lacey's girlfriend, and I'm so sad that he left this world before he could start his amazing life in the NFL. He was gentle and goofy at home, fierce and fearless on the field. He kept promises, especially the small ones. That's who he was. We dreamed in simple colors, draft day suit, our first apartment, his jersey hanging by the door. He was right there, ready to step into the NFL and start the life he'd earned yard by yard. But a lie swallowed him. People who should have told the truth twisted it. Online, they called him a monster. Offline, he carried that weight so the rest of us wouldn't. Kyren still prayed every night. He believed God knew the real story, even when the world refused to see it. He told me, "Baby, I'll be okay. God's got me." I wish I could have kept him here long enough for the truth to set him free. My regret is endless. The hug I didn't hold long enough. The voicemail I didn't save. The future we didn't get. But my love is louder. Kyren Lacey was kindness in motion. Remember him that way. And let the truth at last find its light.
Despite Lacey's death in April, Ori hasn't stopped trying to exonerate him from allegations he caused a fatal crash in Thibodaux that took the life of 78-year-old Herman Hall.
Was a great man with a loving family.
State police charged the wide receiver with negligent homicide after they say his actions of illegally passing cars caused another car to fatally impact Hall's car as they swerved to avoid Lacey.
I've got everything. I've got every piece of evidence I have viewed. I've examined every piece of evidence.
Ori appeared on a segment on HTV with host Martin Folse to discuss what he found in the Lafourche Parish District Attorney's investigation as compared to the original state police investigation. The conclusion of the DA's report was that Lacey was not responsible for the wreck. Ori also shows surveillance video of the crash.
In the top left of the screen, you're going to see multiple cars just making their way south to Thibodaux, coming from Vacherie. At some point in time, you're going to see the collision, which we're going to know is vehicle number 2 from oncoming traffic colliding with the vehicle of Mr. Hall. You will see another vehicle come to a stop, and then you'll see Kyren Lacey come to a stop.
The video provides key insight that was previously withheld, according to Ori.
At the time of impact, he's 72.6 yards behind the vehicles at the time of impact. Keyword, behind the vehicles. That is not how this story was ever painted. Never.
But perhaps the most concerning of Ori's findings, sir, this interaction recorded on body cam of a state trooper getting a witness statement.
Okay, just make sure you add in there that you had to slam on your brakes and the brakes, like, you know, you had to slam on the brakes to avoid that charger and the brakes locked up to avoid that charger. That's.
But then you hear Gold Truck, the witness who's the Gold Truck, what he says. And he says verbatim.
Dang, scared me off my neck, but I wasn't even going for it. That lady in the back of me, she didn't know what happened. That's how she called that wreck. She was running in the back of me. She pulled on the other side.
I didn't skid marked or nothing because I wasn't even going that fast. That lady in the back of me, she didn't see what's happening. That's how she caused that wreck. She was going to run into the back of me, and she pulled into the other side.
Both Ori and the district attorney's office say the trooper coerced the witness into blaming Lacey, despite that not being his recollection of events.
I needed Kyren to hold on for one day, one more day. But as you can see, God needed him sooner. But I can promise you this, as he always asks me, Mr. Matt, you got me, dog? Kyren, I promise you, I got you, dog.